I went to Bethune Cookman University in 2008, and I knew nothing about financial aid. I figured I was an athlete in high school. I don't have the resources. School should be free. So I wasn't educated about that next step. When I got to Bethune Cookman, my aunt dropped me off, and she left. And so I was on this campus unaware of what to do next. For a while, I would go to the financial aid office and sit there to open and close for at least 2 weeks. I had nowhere to go. And during that time, they finally helped me out, gave me a temporary dorm, but I couldn't have a key to it because at any given time, the student who the dorm belongs to may come to get it. So I was always moving around. I didn't have the funds to be there at all. And when financial aid called my guardian to come get me, they didn't come. So I was stuck up there trying to learn how to survive at the institution. So when I did finally do the financial aid, went through their process, I didn't have enough money. So they took the money that I would have for both fall and spring, put it all into I believe the fall when I went in, and that was it. No meal plan, no money for books, just enough to be there. And they gave me that temporary housing, and they did that for me that one semester. After that semester, I was on my own. So what I did was I went to financial aid, and I signed a waiver that said I was an off-campus student. I tried to apply for a Parent Plus loan that gives you additional funds, but I never had anywhere to go. I didn't want to go back home. So I stayed in Daytona, and at first I started to stay at this motel, and they realized that I didn't have the funds to be there too long. Really prideful. I didn't want to tell anybody my circumstances because when I did, no one listened. No one believed me, and I guess they didn't believe me because so many students cried wolf. So that's what I'm thinking. That's what I was guessing. So I went from hotels to motels, and across the street from Bethune Cookman University, it's Uhaul trucks. They never lock them. If it came down to it, I would walk all night, and if I needed to take a quick nap, I'd sleep in the Uhaul truck, or I would walk all night into daybreak, or I may sleep in the lobby of the boys' dormitory, which was called Bronson Hall. And that's kind of the situation, and that was happening every semester. Even when I was brave enough to start to tell people will make soft commitments. We will help you, let us know what you need. But when I told them, they didn't come through. That really bothered me at the time because Bethune Cookman University is, I believe, a Methodist college, a Methodist university. Our founder is Mary McLeod Bethune. We're built off of love and a relationship with God, and I felt like if that's the case, if we're the children of our founder, how can you have a student out here struggling? And he's voicing it to you and you do nothing about it. So that was the situation. As far as going back home, I'm from Miami, Florida, and in Miami, in the area we were staying in, it wasn't the worst, but it wasn't the best. And my family members, or the people I grew up with, always in and out of trouble. What kept me from going home is I received a phone call that the house was shut up, drive-by shooting, and the police, Miami-Dade police, recorded 29 bullets the first time it happened. And it happened several other times that my family had to relocate. In the midst of that, relocating, same thing happened to the new spot. So my cousins that I grew up with, he was killed. One of his friends were killed. And it was just a lot going on. So I said, why would I even risk going home and possibly not making it back to school or getting caught up in something I have nothing to do with? The last thing that kept me from going home is that I received a phone call at the time my brother was 15, just turned 16. He was found in a lake dead. And that destroyed me. The causes of death, they say, was the fact that he drowned, but I never knew my brother to be a swimmer. in the first place. So I'm still skeptical about the situation, but it kept me from going home. Family didn't send any money. I didn't feel as if I was supported, and I was off trying to do better. So that kept me away from home, and that made me feel that I would rather be in Daytona struggling to do something different than to go back home and with family and still feel like I have no one. What kept me going is that I just wanted to prove a point to my family. My family, I felt that they were very selfish. Selfish in many different ways, and I said to myself, if I can make a foundation for myself, and when I have children, I can help them and love them and nurture them in a way that I didn't feel as if I was nurtured. That kind of kept me going, not wanting to be like my mother. My mother never raised me. Not being like my father, I don't know who he is. Not being like my guardians. And that's what kept me going. Not to be like the people of my past or the people that I grew up around. And that kept me going. In school, the first semester I stayed in dormitory. After that, I bounced around from hotels, Uhaul trucks, the boy lobbies, crashed at people's homes at times without them knowing the situation. And that's what I did. I was given housing my last year because I became Mr. Bethune Cookman. So they gave me housing, but the only part about it is, after that, where do I go for the summer and the winter? I'm back out trying to figure out what's my next move. So that's where I stayed while I was in Daytona. For summer and winters, I bounced around house hop. At some point, I was able to pledge a fraternity, so I had brothers that I crashed at their homes. But you know, my home was welcome to you, but it's welcome to you for a certain amount of time. And I didn't want to overextend my welcome anywhere. But that's what I did for the winters and the summers. And then I met people, family members. I met people that's not a part of my family. I consider them family, and they opened their hearts and their homes to me and gave me places to crash. And even when I do come see them and visit them, I come, lay down for a moment, and then I go. I still do it now. I come, and then I go. Yeah. Yes, I graduated with my master's. My master's from Alabama A&M University in Huntsville. I graduated master's in psychology and counseling. And my undergrad degree is from Bethune Cookman, criminal justice. It wasn't until my senior year in college, after I graduated, I interned in DC, Congress. And I said to myself, I can see myself being a congressman or being an advocate for individuals in the community. And because of my storyline, I feel like people can relate to me because I may be relatable to more people. Everybody in DC are used to voting for a perfect person and then realizing that person wasn't as perfect. So me being as blunt and honest about who I am, my flaws, my ups and downs, and me really wanting to do something different made me want to run, or maybe want to get into politics and maybe run for congressman one day.
Any guy.
For any guy?
Yeah.
A suit.
A suit.
A suit. I think a gray suit. A gray suit. I love the navy blue, but a gray suit because you can mix and match that however you want. Any color, different shirt. You can wear the same suit all week. A different shirt, maybe different tie, lapel pin. It's a different suit every day. So I think a suit. My appearance is important because I don't want people to ever look at me and know what I've been through. I want them to look at me and see where I'm going. So I have I don't have a lot of suits, but I like suits. I have a few suits, and the crazy part is I never saw myself in a suit in my entire life. It wasn't until I pledged for fraternity and they said, if you're going to run to be the face of the university, you have to look like a king. They purchased my first suit, and since then, I fell in love. Yes. 5 years, oh man, hopefully I will be finishing someone's PhD program somewhere. Hopefully I would have slowed down, maybe find someone, maybe potentially start a family 5 years from now. I would like to be at peace with myself 5 years from now. I think that's it. really. And then everything else should come in time, but at peace with my son.